K-Rino Radio. Ha. K-Rino Radio. Ha. Ha. Let's tell them about it. You're listening to K-Rino Radio on 90.1. Who is he? What is he? What does he do? Where is he from? H-Town, where the independent grind was invented. Understand, I'm the property owner, you just a tenant. KPFT is the station and location for the really special guests. Good knowledge and information for the coldest on the air. We making a strong case. If you scared of the truth, then you in the wrong place. Every Friday, 11 o'clock p.m. Central. We cooking the game, serving it up, feeding your mental. You can even call in, dial 713, backdoor with 526 KPFT. We ain't playing with them, we gon' tell it like it is, partner. Out of town, KPFT.org, yeah, we got ya. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow, K-Rino Radio, homie, starting right about now. Yeah, we got ya. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow, K-Rino Radio, homie, starting right about now. Y'all heard him, starting right about now, and we gonna get this thing popping.
Yes, sir. We starting right about now, man. It's your big brother K-Rino, and once again, y'all are tuned in to another exciting episode of K-Rino Radio right here on KPFT. Man, look, once again, it's that time of the year. Pledge Drive is on and popping. And as you may or may not know, KPFT is a community radio station, and we depend on the contributions of the people to keep us going. So all of my riders, all of my people that rock with me on KPFT, on K-Rino Radio, we need y'all to pledge. And the number to do that and to contribute to KPFT and keeping this thing popping, the number to do that is 713-526-KPFT. We're going to be pushing this all night long and really for however long the pledge lasts, because and it doesn't matter, whatever your contribution is, it's more than welcome, big or small, and anything in between, because I wouldn't have this platform, and many others like me would not have this platform if it wasn't for the fact that KPFT was that kind of station. So again, if you want to make a pledge, the number is 713-526-KPFT. And if you want to do Cash App, then the way to do the Cash App is $KPFT Houston. That's on Cash App. So you can just boom, 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 hit it real quick and get that contribution in, man, and keep this thing popping, because we definitely appreciate all the support that we have been receiving. It's on K-Rino Radio, but I've been coming up to KPFT doing my thing for like 10,000 years, you know, so all the way from whether it be Damage Control, whether it be The Groove, whether it be Connect the Dots, and several other shows that I've appeared on. This station's been around forever, and it's for you. So if you have something that belongs to you, then we have an obligation to maintain and sustain that, and the way to do that is to make a pledge. Now, since I've got the PC version of my pledge pitch out the way, now let me give the South Park version of it, man. Look, if y'all rock with your boy, man, y'all call in and make a pledge. Y'all hit that Cash App and drop some bread on behalf of the station, man. Let's keep it real and do it like that. We're going to keep this thing popping. And that's the number to call in. That is not the number to call in if you want to participate on the show tonight. I will give y'all that number, a different number. I'll give y'all that number in a second. But it's very important that we push this pledge drive. That number is 713-526-KPFT. Jump on that right now. We're going to get right into it tonight, man. Once again, it's your big brother K-Rino, and my homie Murder One is holding it down on the other side of the glass.
Yes, sir.
To my left is my homie, my brother Keysto. No Regret Media in the building. Young Pro over there in the cut chilling, man. He over there chilling. He got the little pros with him. You know, so we pro'd up in this thing tonight, man. It's all love. And my homie Joseph Clark is in the building. He joined us tonight, man, hanging out with us, man. It's all good. We got a topic tonight that just popped in my head, I think, yesterday, and I think it's very important just on an individual level for different people who just live everyday life and just go through whatever it is they go through. And the topic is called breaking through the ceiling of mediocrity and changing your life for the better and taking your life to the next level. Basically, taking your life to the next level. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is everybody kind of has these feelings sometimes as though we are trapped in this little repetitious, redundant pattern of mediocrity where we kind of just get up, go to work, come home, get up, go to work, come home. And the true, I guess I'll say, spice of life and that excitement doesn't seem to be there for some people a lot of the time. You always feel like there's a void, something missing, there's something better out here for you in your life. Maybe you started off when you were 16, 17, 18, 20 years old, and you had all these dreams and aspirations and things that you wanted to do with your life, and as time went on and other circumstances kind of intervened, it took you off of that path and you were unable to fulfill it, or you had to step away and had plans to come back to it, but you didn't do it, and you looked up and 10 years have passed. Now you feel trapped in a situation. All of those scenarios are things that we're going to cover tonight, and we're going to do our best to try to offer solutions to the best of our knowledge, because we never sit up here and profess to have all the answers, but we will ask questions, and if y'all feel as though y'all want to provide answers, y'all are more than welcome to do that. I'm going live tonight on Facebook, so those of y'all who are just joining us or getting ready to join us live, we will be reiterating a lot of the things we're covering along with the pledge drive as well. I got my esteemed panel and my staff here with me tonight to cover some of these things with me, to help me tackle some of these topics. What I want to really talk about early on is that feeling of feeling stuck sometimes. And when I say stuck, you could be stuck in a job, you could be stuck in a relationship, stuck in a bad marriage, stuck in a financial rut. You could be stuck in your spirituality. You could feel like I'm not experiencing the kind of growth spiritually that I feel I should be or I could be. And all of these things can contribute to us having that feeling of hopelessness. Like, man, I've been trying this for 10 years and I haven't advanced. I've been working here. I haven't made it to the next level. We got to tackle those things tonight. Now that I've kind of laid that base, is there anything that you guys want to kind of pitch to that and bring to the table on that? Anybody?
Well, me personally, man, sometimes we get stuck, like you say, in a situation where we, as I said, everyday pattern. We put ourselves in a situation that we don't look for more, that we want more, and the ceiling is where we want to reach, but we don't reach it because we stay standard everyday living.
Let me ask you this: Do y'all think that falling into that pattern of mediocrity, that repetitious redundancy, do y'all think that that's self-imposed in a lot of ways? It's things that we have done to ourselves, or is it circumstantial, or a combination of both?
It's probably a combination of both. When you decide to get complacent in your situation, is where you feel like you're comfortable in it, and you don't feel like you want to. You satisfied with where you at,
right?
And you don't even look for the future. You don't even look to do something better. So, yeah, that's 100% on yourself.
And not just that. I think we was kind of pushed that way coming up as kids. We have to do this. This the way you're gonna make it in life later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to kind of do it this way and
buckle
buckle down and don't go to the left or don't go to the right, and go by these guidelines and just stay that one way And when you get grown, you stay that same way, and you teach your kids to stay on that same line. But sometimes that line got to get crooked so we can get further.
So
further
you talking about a cycle, like a generational cycle.
Yeah.
And that's valid, because we are taught that you go to school, get a diploma, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, work for somebody else in a lot of situations, because most people with degrees, they don't own businesses.
Right.
They still work for other people.
Some other people.
So these universities kind of condition us to just
Work
go
for
out
other people,
and contribute to somebody else's success and somebody else's, and we stagnate and kind of kill our own dreams by doing that. So that's a great point, to try to break that generational cycle of just being a worker and not exploring our own dreams. For those tuning in live, watching on Facebook Live, we're talking about breaking through the ceiling of mediocrity and taking your life to the next level. All of us have had those moments where we just feel like, this could be better for me, man. Life could be better for me. I'm not making the money I should be making, man. I'm not happy. We have to figure out a way to break through that ceiling. And I was thinking about something when I was coming up with the break through the ceiling part. There's a thing that they had called the flea test. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with the flea test, but what that is that it's a conditioning process, and they took a flea. A flea is able to jump 100 times his own height.
Yeah.
And so they placed the flea in this box. And when they put the flea in the box, they left the top of the box open, and the flea is just jumping freely. He just springing up, jumping like Vince Carter out of the box, right?
Yeah.
And then they closed the box. So when they close the box, quite naturally the flea is still jumping, but now he's busting his head on the top of the box. And they let him do that for a set period of time, and then after a period of time, they opened the box, and the flea was still jumping to that low height, because he had been hitting his head on the top of that box so long that now, even though he has all this room now, he's conditioned now to only jump so high.
Right.
And that's how we've been made as people, to now we're just like, the sky's the limit for us, but we have this feeling in our mind that we can only reach a certain height, because we've been conditioned to do so. So what has to happen that can break us from that mind frame to make us know that our potential is unlimited? And that's where we are right now. We've been conditioned to be mediocre, and like Kiso said, satisfying for less.
Satisfying others also.
Yeah, and satisfying others. That's another great point, because when you say that, a lot of people give up their own life and their own dream for somebody else.
Yep.
And that transfers it over into relationships. A lot of times you have women in particular, and men, but I kind of think about a lot of women who they are on a path to building up their life and having their dreams, and they might meet a guy who they put their dreams on hold to support his dream. And that's a good woman, but a woman should still be able to go out and maximize herself as well, and become whatever it is she wants to be, and whatever it is God gives her the potential to be as well. So that's a great point. If y'all want to get in on this conversation, the number to do that is not the normal number. It's going to be 713-526-5752 if y'all want to get in on that conversation. We're talking about breaking through the ceiling of mediocrity. What you got, Murder?
Man, we got our first player of the night from a strong listener.
Okay.
He called himself Dre Black, man. He gave us a nice donation. And he said he's a strong listener, man, and keep doing what we doing.
Already, Dre Black. Dre Black, we got to put you actually the second player tonight, because Joe gave us the first one tonight.
Okay, my bad.
But we appreciate it. We're gonna keep the actual facts going on, man. But definitely, it is Pledge Drive, man. So all of our listeners, y'all call in if you're watching on Facebook Live. The number to make a pledge to KPFT is 713-526-KPFT. And the Cash App is $ KPFT Houston. So please be sure to do that.
All right.
We're talking about breaking through the ceiling of mediocrity and taking your life to the next level. Let me ask y'all a question, because some people feel like when they reach a certain age, they get to the point where they start to feeling like maybe it's too late. I'm 32 now. I can't do it now. I had my window. I had my window of opportunity. And I tell people all the time, this is not like sports.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm 20 years old, I got a chance to make it to the NBA or the NFL, that's fine, you know, but as you get older, it's a young man's game.
Mm-hmm.
But in the rest of the aspects of life, the other facets of life, those rules don't apply. I'm one of those people who live under the belief that as long as you got air in your lungs, you are able to be successful at whatever it is you have in your heart to be successful at.
I agree.
And not give up. I don't care how old you are. You know, we in the rap business.
Yeah.
So what is one of the main things that we kind of had to experience? It kind of started a few years back where you seen a lot of people saying, well, man, you know, these old rappers out here now, you know, or if it's kind of cool if you kind of been in it a while, you still hear it. But what if there's somebody who's 36 years old and they decide tomorrow they want to rap? They always wanted to rap. They had the talent to rap, but life got in the way where they weren't able to do it. Now they decide they want to get into the music business. The first thing that may come out of people's mouth is, man, why are you trying to start a rap career at 36 years old?
You trying to be 3 Chainz?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't see
Exactly.
I don't see nothing wrong with it, me personally, because if you had a talent,
That's the main thing.
and you still maintaining what you was 10 or 15 years ago, why not do it? You know, I mean, just speaking on myself and SPC, you know, we OGs 3 decades now, 3 decades plus, and artists right today can't get close to some of us. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I want to give a shout out to Rapper K. What's up, Rapper K? But man, you know, I don't believe in that. I think long as you can breathe, walk, whatever your feel is, you can be the best at it. Don't matter. You decide to wake up tomorrow and decide to do something that you never did in your life that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think,
go ahead, Skip. Go ahead, Keystone.
I was going to say, I think he said the main thing, important part of that was as long as you got the talent. I think if you impressive with your talent with it, no matter how old you are, how
talent
young,
don't have an age.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. That's right. And we use rap as an example because that's the world that we are in. But how many people are listening or watching or whatever that may have went to school, had to drop out of school for a particular reason, had plans on going back,
Right.
then over time it's like, oh, no, well, now I'm not going to be able to. In their mind, they're not going to be able to. Now they can,
Right.
but they feel like, oh, it's too late. They've given up. You can't ever give up on your dream if that's your passion, if that's something that you feel that you want to do. Don't let any lost years discourage you from pushing forward and still accomplishing your goal, because again, it's no age limit at pro. You got anything you want to add to that, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, first thing, man, I appreciate you having me on the program, man.
Oh,
but man, as far as like what you first said, your first statement, you know, about the guy who's 36 years old, he decided, you know, I always wanted to rap, you know what I mean, but I just never, you know, life got in the way, right? My advice to him would be, don't let anybody discourage you and tell you that, you know, you too old to rap or you can't do it. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, somebody gonna always tell you that you can't do something. That's part of, you know what I mean? That should be your motivation.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're telling you can't do something. All right, well, prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Right? If you got the talent,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And it all boils down to the quality of the music that you're making. Are you making this bubblegum popcorn rap?
Right.
If you trying to dry your, you know what I'm saying? If you trying to dye your dress, you know what I'm saying, and wear some skinny jeans and, you know, do the dances and all that, bro, you missed that train. It left the station.
That's gone.
You feel me? But if you talking about making some grown man music, you feel me? Jay-Z just dropped at 444.
Right.
He like 50.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And that was
Right.
deep.
But it's time. This is classic.
Find your lane first. Exactly.
Find your
Exactly.
lane. You feel me? There is a lane for a 36-year-old rapper. I'm telling you right now, this probably one of the coldest spitters in the whole world. who's 36 right now, who
Yeah.
probably listening right now, is
Yeah.
like, you know what, you right.
Yeah.
But it really boils down to what you gonna do, man. You gonna barbecue, you gonna meal do.
Yeah.
You got to get to work, man.
Let me ask y'all this. Anybody can jump in there because you made me think about something.
Okay.
What role, because we're talking about breaking through the ceiling of mediocrity. Mediocrity, whether it be self-imposed or whether it be circumstantial. What role does the fear of failing play?
Everything.
Because that's one of the main hindrances that I think that people have. A lot of people have the talent, they have the resources, they have all of the elements that are necessary to be successful in whatever it is they have in their heart, but they scared to fail. They have this feeling in their mind like, what if I don't do it right? What if I don't make it? What are other people gonna say?
That's that upbringing.
Yeah. That's that never lost.
Yeah, that's an upbringing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
So
love
I
the
never
challenge
tried.
for me personally.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a challenge to me is to win. So failure is not an option in my household. I don't preach failing. I preach if you're gonna do it, be the best of it. Go in and do what you got to do and maintain it.
Don't be scared to lose. Be scared to not win.
Right.
And that people may look at it as the same thing. It's like
it's not.
my mind is focused on winning, and you just put your best foot forward and taking your life to the next level. We all go through it. We're not sitting up here acting like we have accomplished what we're talking about. We just bouncing ideas off everybody and hope that something that we say will help it out. I'm seeing Maria Hager. She put, some people don't want to leave the safety and comfort of mediocrity. Is there a safe haven that exists within the realm of mediocrity where you kind of are off the radar, you kind of off the grid, and you feel comfortable? There's like, I ain't putting no pressure on myself.
See, what it come down to too is it's all about, you know, how do you feel about yourself, man? Your self-esteem.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because if you know who you are as a person and you know what your purpose is, and you know the people around you support you and your purpose and your cause, right? You're not gonna be worried about what nobody else got to say about you.
Yeah.
What if they don't? But what if the people around? What if you don't have a team or support system? Where does self-motivation come in at?
Okay, I'll speak from my personal perspective, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm 31 years old. My son's standing behind you, or sitting behind you. He's 12 years old.
Young King, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm still rapping. I got my own label, you know what I'm saying? I throw my own record show. I throw my own shows, you know what I mean? You know, Kay, you been there. I have my own radio show, you know what I mean? Support Street Clothing Company coming soon, you know what I'm saying? Me and Kerm got that going on. I press my own shirts, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of my main things is that, okay, and I got a degree too. You know what I'm saying? I'm somebody that went to college. You know what I'm saying? That went to this whole you know, go to school, get a degree so you got something safe that you can, and don't get me wrong, everything that I'm doing right now has prepared me for owning my own business and running my own business. So there are elements of the college and the education system that are very, very, very beneficial. But if you use them for the entrepreneurial pursuits, then it's worth it. If you don't, then it's just like, okay, you know, you could still make that same amount of money without a degree. And I know people that don't have a degree or anything like that, and they still make tons of money.
Some of the most successful business owners don't have a degree. Shout out to Gino McKinney. He said you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Right.
You know,
Facts.
and that's an actual fact. I think it says Graham Little takes time for people to wake up. A lot never wake up. I want to shift the conversation in a different direction, because a lot of times when we think about mediocrity and people not taking their life to the next level, we kind of equate it to money.
Right.
But it's a lot of people who have money has never been a problem for. They may have money in their family. They may have accumulated a lot of money, have been successful in that realm, but they still have voids in their life because that money may have not come from their own doing. Like, say, family might have had the money, but there's still a personal aspiration that they are not touching. So it's not just about poor people all the time. Sometimes you can have resources, but your life is empty because it's something else that you're not striving for, that you don't have the courage to go after. So
yeah, that make perfect sense because the man on a bike wish he had a car, right? The man with no legs, you know what I'm saying? He wish he just had legs at all. You know what I'm saying? Like So it's just how you look at it. Perspective, man. The glass is either half full or it's half empty. You know what I'm saying? It's always, a situation that could be better than yours or worse than yours. You know what I'm saying? So just because you have money, that's not gonna make you happy. You got to pursue, your life's goal. You know what I'm saying? What makes you happy? What's your drive? What's your end game? That's the things you got to pursue because you got people that got millions of dollars and they hate their life.
Yeah. And see, taking your life to another level is not about materialism.
Right.
It's about the satisfaction in the inner peace that you have, or reaching a goal and being satisfied within yourself. One of the things that I wrote down was that you can't upgrade your life until you upgrade your thinking, your thought process. Right. And in the scripture, Jesus says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Yeah. Right. So you shape your reality based on the kind of thoughts that you carry. So that's one of the main aspects that I think that anybody who's listening, anybody who's watching have to focus on, that if there's something that you're trying to reach, you can't negate your dreams by having this negative, defeatist attitude that you can't make it, especially the first time you hit a bump in the road and something goes wrong and you feel like, oh man, I knew this wasn't gonna work. Right. Yeah. Or if outside forces are telling you, well, see, man, I knew you shouldn't have tried that, or girl, I knew you shouldn't have tried that because you're wasting your time. And you have to have really, really tough skin and a strong intestinal fortitude in order to overcome the obstacles, whether they be internal and external. But the internal obstacles are the biggest ones, the ones that you deal with within yourself. Exactly. We got a call on the line. I see we got the legend on the line, the legendary Icy Hot from Street Military is on the line. Go ahead, Icy.
Hey, how y'all doing, everybody in there, man? And I was watching on the live, but I just couldn't say that, and I wanted to say something about it. Something about that music game, but when we start talking about the young and old stuff. You still there?
Yeah, we here. We listening to you, big bro.
Well, man, I come up, in the industry young, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be some fresh people, no matter what their age bracket is, you're going to be a star and you're going to be fresh. Nah, it's some people, they not good. It's some, what I'm talking about, it's some whack people out there, man, and they start this little stuff that it's a problem with the young and the old, man. And first thing about it is I would like to say to the young people, man, y'all keep doing y'all thing and make sure that don't let nobody discourage you from making and stuff, because there's going to be haters in all cases sizes, you know what I'm saying? So it's some young people that some of them might not be as good, and it might be some that's good. Just like it is with some old people, and some people that's not good, but don't let yourself mix it up, man. Y'all keep y'all minds on the business and carry the torch, because, everybody's going to go over the
Appreciate the love, Icy Hot. Appreciate the love, brother. You call in anytime, and we appreciate the jewels that you dropping on us, big brother.
Already.
Anytime. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's all good. As long as the young people, the ones that show respect to like the older crowd that still holding this industry, because they're gonna have to sit up in their seats. And the ones that's wise and stuff, they will be the ones that's going to be able to understand to keep a business going without conflict, and don't let the devil come in and discourage you, man, because it's even younger people, younger than us, that they older people on other younger people, so that's something that don't make no sense no way. So, you know what I'm saying? So focus on the songs and the music and the business, and don't let nobody push our mind, because we got a lot of snakes and devils out there. So, you know, you got to go ahead and just walk past it. And I like the young people, man, to know, man, y'all keep y'all focused, man, and don't get sidetracked by everything that you hear in the wind and stuff, because the devil going to speak in the wind and then try to mix it up. So one thing about it is, y'all stay focused and try to do stuff that y'all can teach one another. At least teach the older people what a younger generation is going through. You know, it ain't nothing new at the time, but it's still your story.
You breaking up a little, Icy. You breaking up a little.
Okay, man, that's cool, because I hear it too, man. You know, I'm not too used to hearing the phone with people behind you like that, but.
Nah, we appreciate the love, brother. We appreciate you calling in. Now, you know you're welcome anytime. We got a couple of more to take. But, you know, like I said, anytime OG or Legend call in, we gonna absorb that game, brother. So, Icy High from Street Military, man. Thank you, family. Appreciate that.
I appreciate it, man. I work with a lot of people, man. So I wanted to make sure that young people know, man, make sure they know that, you know.
Already.
I appreciate that they work they're doing out there, man, and the ones that's on the right road. So.
Appreciate that, Icy. One love, brother. Thank you.
All
right, peace. Yeah, we talking about, man, breaking through the sin and the mediocrity, man, and taking your life to the next level. Also, man, again, we got to remind y'all that KPFT is doing a pledge drive right about now. It's going down, man. So everybody within the sound of my voice, support KPFT, man. Send a donation in. We don't care if it's $1 or you can write that $1 million check if you got it like that, or anything in between. We appreciate that. If you make a pledge is a promise. A pledge is giving you a word that whatever you call in and say, that's what you're going to break. That's what you're going to break, man. Let's keep this thing popping, because this station belongs to the community, and it's up to the community to keep it going. If you would like to make a pledge, the number is 713-526-KPFT. I'll say it again, 713-526-KPFT, man. And we can't do what we do without y'all and without this station allowing us to rock like we rock. We're going to shift gears and take it, and I see Tall D on the line, but we're going to shift gears and take it to another direction real quick before we get to D. Because it's not just about careers, again. It's not about just about jobs and careers and things of that nature. I want to talk about from a spiritual standpoint, because there's so many people that are looking for comfort in a higher power. You got people who, I'm searching for a church home. I'm looking for somewhere where I can worship. I'm looking for a place of worship I can trust, whether you be a Christian, a Muslim, whatever your religious denomination is. People are searching for that completeness from a spiritual standpoint, and they still have levels of dissatisfaction that they feel based upon either going places that they eventually find out that are not the most righteous, best places for them. They find, oh man, this pastor, he crooked, or they get into a good situation, but they let the people around them who may be in the church, who may be in the mosque, and in the synagogue, they let those people affect their worship. They let those people affect how they carry themselves, and they have something missing, or circumstances outside of their control, or circumstances of life make them view God himself as being the cause of their failures or their lack of success. So let's talk about that from a spiritual standpoint, taking your life to another level in a good way, and what steps has to be taken, if y'all have anything to add to that.
Well, first you gotta do some honest and some real self-evaluation and self-analyzation, that you can see yourself and be honest with yourself, where you at, where you're trying to go, you know, your strengths, your losses, and stuff as such as to that extent. And then once you get honest and what they call bare naked honest with yourself, then you can feel, you can have the right, I guess, the right mind state to see, okay, now what do I need to do next? And then second of all, you want to also make sure that that you have the drive, the willingness, that once you see this, whatever you need, you feel like it can be done better, or your strengths or your weaknesses, then you got to have the drive and the ambition to get out there and actually do some self-correction.
Right.
I mean, that's what defines somebody's character. It's not how hard they throw the shot at you. It's how forceful you come back from it.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, too, you got to make sure that you surround yourself with the type of people who are going to positively influence your life. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that, hey, I'm trying to change my life, man. I don't want to smoke crack no more, but you still kicking it with Rhonda from down the street, and she smoked like a chimney. You feel me? You can't say that. You know what I mean? What are your chances of success? In a situation like that, if everybody you know is still doing the habits you're trying to distance yourself away from, so you got to surround yourself with the right people, and it's hard sometimes because it might be your brother, your sister, your mama, your auntie. You know what I'm saying? People that are intimately close to you on a personal level, and you may have to say, you know what, I love you, but I love myself more. You feel me?
Right.
And what about it? Because you made me think about the word faith is a big word, and I think that's a word that a lot of us take for granted when you talk about trying to accomplish goals and trying to take your life to the next level, because setbacks and so-called failures tend to become blows to your faith,
right?
Because you start to feel like, well, if it didn't happen, maybe it's not meant to happen, but you prayed for it in the very beginning. When you still had that ambition to do it, you prayed hard. God, please let it. And then the second that it didn't happen overnight, now all of a sudden you lose that belief that and also knowing that prayer is just the precursor, just the beginning part of the blessing being fulfilled. Because if you still have to act,
right?
You can't think that some spook God gonna sprinkle a magic blessing out of the sky.
Right.
There still has to be an act on your part to pray and then put yourself in motion to bring your dream into fruition.
And you have to have eyes to see and ears to hear, because a lot of times people are put in a position where they could really win if they was just paying attention, but because they don't have eyes to see, they miss it. They opportunity come and it go, and it come and it go, and it come and it go, until one day it strike them like a bolt of lightning. Oh wow, look at this opportunity in my face.
That's a good point.
And it's been there the whole time, but they ain't been seeing it because they ain't had the eyes to see, because they wasn't really fully paying attention.
Somebody said, be willing to be by yourself and see the stuff the Most High shows you.
Right.
That's exactly what you just said. Yeah. Because a lot of times blessings are right in our face, and we don't recognize them, or they don't come in the form that satisfies us. So we're gonna take Tall D real quick, and we'll hang your headphones on the phone when a call comes in, so the people can hear that's listening in. I hope that helps. Go ahead, D. Tall D, what's up, my brother?
Hey, what's up, Reno?
What's up, my brother?
I just want to shoot in on y'all, man. You know, I love what y'all doing, man, for the community. And I had to come in tonight. I've been trying to call y'all for a minute. Sometimes we be in and out, but I'm gonna make sure I get in this time.
Oh, okay, man. D, come on, D. You know what it is, man.
I had to write the letters down to make sure I get the numbers right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think we all do that.
But no, I love what y'all doing, man. I just called to get y'all ups, man. I love what y'all doing for the community.
Oh, thank you, D. We appreciate the love, man. You know to call in anytime, brother.
Yeah, Murder One, man. I just love what y'all do, man. That's why I be following y'all. Like, man, I like that. And I grew up on, I grew up on y'all music too, though, you know. So, but it's like, dang, you know. I just wanted to say that. That's all. I ain't got much to say, but I just appreciate what y'all do for the community. I really do.
Man, well, keep listening. And also, thank you for calling in, D. Appreciate that. But, yeah, and then, you know, D, you be right there standing with us, bro. So don't just say we be out there in the community. It's a whole lot of times we doing our thing, and Tall D is right there in the midst of it, man. Appreciate the love, man. It's all good. We are talking about breaking through the ceiling of mediocrity and taking your life to the next level, man, right here on K-Rino Radio, KPFT, kpft.org for anybody who's trying to check it out online. Again, the pledge line number is 713-526-KPFT. But if you want to call in and just holler on the show, it's 713-526-4646. 5752. Now, we're going to one of the most important aspects of this, because if you are an individual who's seeking to figure out how to break through that ceiling of mediocrity and you haven't done it yet, or you've given up, at least make sure that you don't impose that same thought process on your children, on your seeds. So we want to talk about now the aspect of cultivating our children's minds to motivate them early to have that drive to not be average. See, when I was in school, if I got a C, I was good. And like long as I passed, sometimes even if I get a D, I was like, well, what's passing? Passing is 70. I got that 70. I'm straight.
Yeah.
And my mama was like, you could do a lot better than that. You know, you passed, but with the intelligence that you have, you shouldn't just settle for just getting by. And I think a lot of us kind of fall into that pocket of it's just enough to get by. If I walked across the stage with a diploma, I walked across the same stage as the valedictorian did. But if you would have applied yourself, you probably could have been the valedictorian. So,
and then also look what they call the GED, the good enough degree.
Yeah, no question. Good enough degree, man. And some of us live GED lifestyles. Think about that. Yeah. You know, it's just like it's just good enough. Just whatever we can do to kind of just make it by.
You're not homeless.
If you have a job, you may say, well, you know, maybe I could have got a better job or a better position, or I could have pursued a career, but I'm good right here. I'm comfortable because it's not any pressure. It's not any.
You just
going through the motions.
You just touched on something, and I realize this. A lot of the reason why this talks about fear. When we're talking about fear, a lot of the reason why people are scared to do something great with their life is because they're not willing to go through that pain and that anguish that it takes to really get what they want out of life, which is, you know, you might have to be, you bummy for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, while you invest all your money in this business. You might have to take a not so nice car. You might have to take 2 or 3 jobs to pay for your side hustle until it gets up and running. You might have to catch the bus. You might have to eat ramen noodles. You know what I'm saying? You might have to make sacrifices, man. And see, a lot of people is not willing to do that because it's easier to just go put on a uniform and go work for Joe Blow because he got everything already mapped out. He did the hard work for me already. I can be safe. I could go work for him, his nice little company. He gonna make the millions and gonna throw me some scraps for the table, and it's okay as long as I'm just coasting through life.
Yeah, because you're gonna get your money every hour. Yeah, he's gonna get his every minute.
Yeah, well, while he sleep, you make money in your sleep.
Yeah. You got to have a grind now, shine later mentality.
Exactly.
Somebody asked, how early should we tell the kids the truth? And the answer to that is right out the gate.
Yeah,
you should be talking to your children in the womb. Yeah, and if any women are listening to this, I want y'all to really take this to heart. That child's life don't begin the day he or she is born.
Nope.
When that child is developing in your womb, you should already be placing yourself in environments that are conducive to the proper mental and spiritual development of that child, and on the flip side, keeping them out of environments that work in a negative aspect. So to answer that question, from the second that the man tell you that she's pregnant, or the man tells you, sister, that you're pregnant, you need to be teaching that child, talking to that child in your womb, reading to it, placing information into the developing mind of that child, because the first thing that develops in a developing child is the brain, and then the brain forms and it calls the rest of the body into existence. So anything that's going on the outside as well as the inside affects that child for the negative or for the positive. So to answer that question, family, you start telling your children the truth the second you know that it's a seed developing in that womb. We got Church Hill on the line. We're going to take that call from my brother Church Hill.
What's up to the brothers that's sitting in the audience? What's up, Murder One, for taking the call? I really appreciate that, man. I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm listening at this word go forth, man. I feel like I wanted to chime in on this church service that y'all having. So, I'm thinking about the idea of what you said about the children. I think how you begin to really start grooming your child to excel and break past the ceiling of mediocrity. You got to start doing what the Bible says about train a child in the way that he should go. Stir up their gifts early at a young age, and give them insight about if you had, let's say, fears or some, what I would say, insecurities. Because a lot of times there's business ideas, there's business goals that you may have in your life or moves that you want to make. But because the people been around you, they're scared to jump out that boat, just like when Jesus asked Peter to walk out on the water. He would have walked just like Jesus walked on that water, had not he had insecurities and fears.
Right.
So, man, being able to train your child at an early age, or an adult person who got business goals, business dreams, and visions of where they see themselves in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
Letting them know, hey, man, walk out on that water, and faith without work is dead. Because you can't put the work behind what you believe. That's telling God, basically, you don't believe him. Equally, I'm going to close with this one right here. I had a conversation with the Lord the other day, and he told me personally, say, the gifts I've placed in you, just like a lion that's in the jungle, he can survive. He got everything that he needs to survive. He got the claws. He have the teeth. He have the speed, the agility, the power. Everything he needed in him to survive. And that's what he used. And that's just like with man. Man have everything in him. Your talents that God has given you to make it, to start a business, is placed inside of you.
Right.
But you got to use it. You got to activate it.
That's right.
That's right.
You got to activate it. And when you don't use it, let's say if you take your talent and you bury it and just don't use it at all, like the man in the Bible who buried his talent, that was one who buried his talent. Well, you could bury your talent, but there are some people who will not only, they won't even bury it, they just will not even acknowledge it. And that's a worse person as it relates to faith and breaking past the ceiling. So you got to acknowledge that God has put this in you. He has given you a talent, and he's giving you ideas, and he's giving you witty ideas and inventions. And you got to put one foot in front of the other, so walking out in water, and you got to know that he gave you everything to survive. That's all I want to add to that, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the jewels, my brother.
The
we
great church,
appreciate that. He mentioned teaching a child and the way that he or she should go, and when they get older, they won't depart from that. You have to also instill seeds of self-esteem. We sometimes we take the negative approach. You know, we all have heard this thing, especially coming up in the black community. We have, man, you'll be just like your daddy.
Oh yeah,
You ain't your daddy.
That's their favorite one.
That's their favorite slogan right there.
But it's we do it too as brothers, as men. We do the same thing, and but so we have to reverse that and start telling our children exactly who they are. Look, brother, you a young god, you a young goddess, you a queen. You could be whatever you want to be. The universe is yours.
Yeah,
so when we start lifting them up from that early age, then they themselves won't settle for average. They themselves won't settle for being mediocre. And you let them, as Church was saying, cultivate their gifts. You sit there and let them discover who they are, and then you push that and motivate that.
Yeah, and you control the cool. Yeah. Like when I can testify to this from my daughter when she was young. I've always showed her. Yeah. First, I started with showing her who she is and where she come from, knowledge itself. So that brought her to attention to where she goes to school now. And if the teacher's talking that crazy stuff about Columbus, she know how to flip it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But starting there is actually the part where she got the confidence. And then I gotta say this: you can't just talk to your kids about certain things.
You gotta lead by example.
You gotta lead by example.
Yeah.
You gotta be the example that you're trying to preach
Right.
for her to do. So
Right.
if you want her to believe in yourself, you need to believe in yourself. And so, because talk is cool and talk can motivate, but talk, as soon as you done talking, sometimes talk is done, and you got to be able to walk. You got to be able to show it through action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And in order to do that, though, you have to know where you're going. And in order to do that, you got to do your homework and you got to do your research, because otherwise it's just going to be the blind leading the blind. You know what I mean? Because there's enough babies out here having babies.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they didn't know
babies.
anything. Like, it's crazy sometimes, and I'm not knocking them, but I seen some things where it's like crazy, man. It's like, you talking about 4 generations, you know what I mean? Grandma's 50. You know what I mean? The one before that is what?
So you giving them some years. I would say grandma about 40.
40. You know what I'm saying? 40. I mean, you know I'm going with.
Yeah.
But you got to lead by example, man. So you got to do your research too, because I believe that a child should get 2 educations. He get the one that he get from the state, and he get the one that he get from at home.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And they gonna learn by watching you and what you do too. So if you showing your kid, look, hey son, this is how you hustle legally.
Yeah.
This is how you make legitimate money. This is how you run and operate a business, because they're not teaching that in school.
Nope.
They're not going to show you how to get your DBA license and how to trademarking, copyright, and how to balance the check.
Well, you know, also some of your friends not going to teach you that either. So then where you go?
People hide in the game.
Yeah.
We got a call online, and it's a
female.
sister, so we don't want to keep the sister waiting long. We definitely always want to have some feminine energy, some female balance to this conversation. So we'll take her call right about now. Sister Shalonda, what's going on, Queen?
Hey, y'all. I am attentively listening.
All right.
Y'all, I happen to believe that I'm predestined to have life abundantly. And so, of course, the word abundantly implies more than average.
Yes, ma'am.
More than mediocre. Presently, mediocrity is absolutely killing me. I hate it.
Right. Me too.
And,
Welcome to the club.
and the thing is, I try to be careful not to step on any toes or offend anybody, because what I believe to be mediocre may not be for the next person. You know, I may have what somebody else believes to be a dream life. But again, it goes back to the predestined abundance, you know, and so I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that, because right now mediocrity is a huge problem for me. It's the topic of my conversation with my best girlfriend daily.
Right. Well, thank you so much for calling, sis, and I will try to expound on that. I mean, I think, to sum it up, because we got about 5 more minutes, to sum it up, I think about something that Brother Jesse Muhammad always posts on his social media feeds, and he says that mediocrity is not in your DNA. So this whole conversation we was talking about breaking through the ceiling of mediocrity is all that said to really say that it really only exists if you allow yourself to be reduced down to that kind of thinking, because within the DNA of us is nothing mediocre about it. Your very creation is a masterpiece, a mathematical, scientific, and spiritual concoction from the Creator himself. That's amazing. Just knowing how you function as an anatomical unit. So with that being said, we just have to raise our thinking levels up to break that barrier, to decide that I'm going to be big, I'm going to be better than what this world may perceive me to be. I'm going to be better than what those around me have perceived me to be or have said I'm going to be. And I'm going to take the initiative and the onus for my own life to be, like the sister said, be above average, and make sure that I can excel on a high level, because you see people that have that have talent, but you get frustrated with them from the outside looking in, because it's like, man, this guy could really be something greater. You see something greater in that person than they see in themselves. And somebody has done that with all of us at some point. So I'm talking to everybody that's listening. Don't ever relegate yourself to being just, oh man, that can't be me. Yes, it can be you. It can be you. You can be the one to pop off. You can be the one to build your business up. You can be the one to have a successful relationship with your significant other. You don't have to have a failed marriage or things of that nature. Any aspect of life, you can rise above it and make it better for yourself, even if it requires you removing yourself from a bad situation, because every situation can't be saved and fixed.
Sometimes you got to separate yourself.
And that's the mistake we make. We feel like we're obligated to fix something that's beyond repair, and we can't do that. So, as always, we thank y'all for tuning in. I want to mention that we're going through Pledge Drive right now, and everybody who's listening or watching on Facebook Live, please feel free to make a donation. Call in 713-526-KPFT, and you can do it on Cash App at $KPFT Houston. Please call in, man. Shout out to Roger Turner, Dimitri Doty, Dal Scott, the OG legend, Marcus Amano, everybody, Mike Medina, Mo Abdullah, Bill Borgen. I didn't catch everybody. I see Kendrick James was on there checking us out, Rapper K, Maria Hager, and we appreciate y'all participation from all over the country and all over the world. And we thank y'all. Y'all can always follow me at The Real K-Rino on Twitter. Hit me on Facebook. Murder, give them your social media info.
Yeah, my Twitter is SPCMURDER, the number 1. That's the Twitter. The IG page, we got the ARC lower score movement. I have MURDERONESPC86 on IG, and also on Facebook. It's M1 SPC Thomas.
Go ahead, Keisto.
Okay, man. Last thing I wanted to say on that, just always remember, man, the enemy comes to steal and to destroy and to confuse. So don't allow any kind of negative thoughts that you are not able to do the amazing to ever filter through your mind. But my Instagram for No Regret Media is going to be No Regret Media. My personal one is Keisto, Keesto, and I really mostly just do Instagram. And also you can catch us if you really want to take this opportunity, man, and step outside of the normal and not be mediocre, and you want to really do something with yourself. You got a business in your mind or something that you needed to be presented on a professional platform. You need like your website done or something. Go ahead and go to noregretmedia.com and contact me, man. I'll be happy to help you out with that.
Go ahead, Young Pro. We got about 20 seconds.
Okay, you can follow me at Young Pro SSMG. Go to my website. I got beats and everything on deck. YoungProMusic.com. The separation coming soon. We working, man. Shout out to K-Rino, man.
No question, man. And shout out to Jamal Wilborn, man, up there in Luther Unit in Navasota, Texas, man. We appreciate the love. And everybody that's on lock, I know y'all listening. We love y'all. Y'all hold it down. See you when you get out, man. One love. It's your big brother K-Rino once again. K-Rino Radio every Friday at 11 p.m. KPFT. Love y'all. One love.